Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video and I hope you're all having an amazing day. In this video, we're going to be coaching Karasmai. He is a challenger jungler and streamer, content creator over in the NA server. He's recently been playing Kane top and is trying to climb towards challenger. He went to Grandmaster today and we did a coaching session of his recent VODs, mainly going over the laning phase fundamentals and showcasing that regardless of what you're playing, your first waves will matter the most and fundamentals will always be applicable, even if you play a weird playstyle like Kane top. This session is a little bit messy in terms of layout, but we're basically going to go over multiple VODs and explain the laning phases, and everything will still make a lot of sense, as he said himself that he still learned a lot. I hope you guys will enjoy this video, pick up some new knowledge about some more niche type top lane champions, but see how the fundamentals will still always apply. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Peace. See you there. Okay, so your minimap is covered. That actually sucks. So we can not highlight the minimap, but it's fine. What I generally speaking like to do is just whenever possible. There's like 3 ways, I guess, to access into their jungle, right? You can walk through the tribush in top lane. Yeah. But you're playing into Kled, so you said just like a little bit scared level 1. I think it'd be fine for you to just walk in there if it's like minute 105, like before the minions have spawned. So you can either get a ward down and or maybe already get some orbs. I don't do this in a champion where you hard lose to level 1, like, I don't know, Darius, Warwick, Urgot, this type of champions, but I would just want to try and get a ward down on either his Krugs or his red buff, so you also have an easier time deciding how you want to play out your first waves.
Oh yeah, there's like a little wall, like the Baron pit wall. Sometimes I'll try to like go over that, because like you kind of avoid that raptor vision when you like walk up to the raptor. You just completely nullify that. But honestly, I always get nervous of that, because I'm just gonna be honest, like I'm just worried because I don't stream with delay. I'm like, okay, if they're ghosting and they're just like waiting there, I'm just dead, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense.
That's kind of why I get like a little bit cautious with like any early vision, because I'm like, if I just die early, I just lose the game. I feel like, like at that point. But that's kind of why I don't do that. But I definitely think like, if like the tri-brush, is that what you said to walk through? Like that could be a safer route for me, because there's not likely to be 3-4 people there.
Well, yeah, it's like I was referring to like 3 options, right? So first option then would be going through the tri-bush. Second option is indeed Baron Pit, and then third option would just be like to walk through a river towards the raptors. I mean, the way I would approach it as well is just like look at their early game levels. If they have, I don't know, something uses mid like an Azi or something, you have a much easier time to try and set this up as well, right? So there is that. But yeah, I mean, just the reason of streaming, that makes a lot of sense. But I think if you're in Grandmaster, you're probably fine, though, right? Like I'd like find it hard to believe that like, everybody in Grandmaster stream snipes. I also stream without delay, but I mean, I don't know how bad it is in NA. In EU, I feel like it's fine now. I don't get stream sniped that often, I feel like.
I was mostly worried about Master, to be honest. Like Master is kind of crazy. There's a lot of people that know me in this elo. Fair
enough. Okay. Yeah, my general idea with that is if you don't know where enemy Joe's starting, I'm kind of playing blindfolded right now too. Like I'm not seeing Nunu on the map. But yeah, that changes our plan somewhat. Okay. Yeah, I think these changes are just super good for you, right?
Yeah.
As long as you manage to keep the priority. That's most important. So now, I mean, obviously, I would just do a second wave crash. And then afterwards, I guess, okay, you've put your ward there. That's fine. I would consider then, if you already have the priority guaranteed, I would just use my ward to then, like after you've established this crash, to get the ward on either his Krugs or red buff. But that's fine.
You go that deep for a ward on all the way to Krugs or red buff on this wave?
Well, you have a giant timer right now, right? Because he has to collect this, and I think the next wave is like towards the tier 2 somewhat. So I think you going to Krugs is like pretty fast. If I'm like the reverse side, if I would be red side right now, I'd probably put it at like his blue buff entrance, because you can just see him getting into the river after he's done his Fukta, right? And your ward will still be there. Yeah,
definitely.
Do you know your level up timers out of the top of your head? I think this is important to talk about too.
Yeah, next level is gonna be like what, two melee minions?
Yes, okay, very good. So I would play for that probably here. Do you reckon you can contest wave 3 and somehow do like crash the third wave again into him?
I usually try for that. I'll like auto the two melee ones, and then I'll like W key them insta one shot and then get an E. But I think I also like, I think I do disrespect the gank timer. Like I know this is like a gank timer, and I think I just like play very like stupid.
Okay, yeah, if we have the ward now, we'd be very solid, right? But what you could consider in your shoes as well, and I believe I did this in the game when I was against Jack, so I see you instant select E. I think if you can push this wave in, I would just do 2 points of Q perhaps and just proxy that way. Proxy wave 4 and I get a reset. Or you think it's still fast to just select E to get to the proxy faster. But I think if you get this in, which you should be able, especially if you have 2 points in Q here. Just get in this wave, and then, I mean, I don't think you'll have dive threat, but it just makes proxying infinitely easier on the next wave.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I just go in for like a brain dead trade, but then I go for the E. I was really greedy. I know I should have died there, 100%.
No, I think it's fine, because you have E, right? I think you're completely fine with this.
Okay.
It just, I mean, the only thing is just to let W, right? You know the way this ability, I mean, I'm not gonna put it like that, but you know, like, you can't actually select it, right? It's just like, automatically, whenever he has his W selected.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, wait, how to tap it here. And that's the only cooked thing that your wave is just fully stuck here.
Yeah, definitely.
So
he's so fast when he's unmounted.
Yeah. Whenever he chases you, like whenever he's chasing you, that's when he's like empowered with movement speed. If he's like walking away from you, he's just like a snail. But whenever he's walking into you, he gets super fast.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, I learned that quite recently too, playing like 2 Kled games. Okay, but so the thing is, here you kind of have to make a decision. The way that I would see this wave is we have 2 options. We can try and contest it again. Now we're like reviewing in hindsight, right? But I think Kled level 3 against you level 3, it's hard for you to start contesting. Like level 1 to level 2, you're stronger. Level 3, he starts winning. I think this is a lot of matchups for you. Will go like this, right? I don't know, any other melee champion like Riven, Renekton, all these champions would probably start beating you at around level 3. Like, you just can't contest them as easily. So, on this wave, you just have to make your decision to either allow yourself to get pushed in, or like contest level 3. Because what is happening with the wave right now, if you look at it like this, and like you wouldn't touch the means.
It's pushing into me, isn't it?
Yeah, but I would actually also say that it's hard pushing into you. Even though it's not hard pushing into you on this frame, what will happen in these scenarios, if you don't contest that much, is he will have like, these minions left after your wave is gone, right? Because Kled is still gonna hit it, and you're not gonna hit it as much. So it'll be hard pushing into you. So what I do in these scenarios usually, is I just contest these first 2 melees somewhat, and like contest the level timer, and then after that, just let myself get pushed in. If your idea is to... If that is your plan as well, right? So it's more so that we need an intention here. Do you want to trade heavily? Do you want to try and get the wave into his turret? Or do you just want to play out the bounce? Here I feel like you were just going... There was like not really a plan here. Like I feel like here again, it's hard now too because of the amount of AoE that you've put into... I'm guessing your idea though was to get this wave in again.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah. And then it just like got rough.
I'm surprised how quickly he remounts. That's what really caught me off guard. I was like, okay, if he's like dismounted, he can't like be as impressive. Like he can't jump on me as easily. But that's what I learned about him. He apparently just can.
Yeah, and that's
I
just
didn't know about the MS thing.
all about his W timing too. If he has his W, then it's like super easy for him to remount. And without W, it's useless. Here I would say your lane is still fine if we're able to get this wave in. If you cannot get this wave in right now, you're cooked because, I mean, what we talked about those first 4 waves, right? Like right now, your game is in such a dire position. You just want to get this wave in and get into proxy. So that's probably what you're going to try and do. I'd also consider here in this scenario, just like okay, well, you're getting Nunu ganked as well. But let's say Nunu was out of the picture here, right? I would also just, because you're already like pretty much going into salvage mode now, is get these melees and then just dip. Like you don't need the casters. They would just slow you down and they are completely useless compared to getting the next wave, realistically.
Do you think it would be worth to like kind of like try and stay around like over the wall and like soak XP on the casters? Because I don't know if it's like worth to give up that much XP, like 3 casters early on.
I mean,
or is it just like have to?
Casters compared to melees, I believe, well, I don't know the exact numbers, but I mean, melee means are worth much more. And I think if you like the longer you stay here, the more vulnerable you are to getting killed by the Kled as well, right? So in these scenarios, I mean, sure you can like stay in the XP range, but I would always make sure to prioritize the next wave over the XP range of the castle, of course, because it's gonna go pretty fast here. By the time you have it in, you already have to proxy. I feel like right now your game has gotten pretty much unplayable. Is it like
definitely
everything that happens right now is just a result of the early game. That's like the exact scenario I was creating earlier here, right? If we die on like our first 4 waves and the waves like close to enemy turret, I don't know how, like it's right now you're just gonna be a spectator. As in,
exactly.
Kled needs to make a mistake for you to somehow get back into this game. So what do we learn from this? I think ultimately 2 things. Either we don't contest that 3rd wave as hard, you just get to 2 melees, let the wave bounce into you. I think that's fine. Because Kled level 3 is stronger. If you're able to still contest at the level 3, you get the cannon wave in, I put 2 points in Q and then proxy wave 4, get your reset.
Definitely. That would have made this lane way more playable.
So, like right now, I just don't think there's much you can do anymore. You're like left to the mercy of Kled. If this guy does not want you to play the game, you won't play the game. So yeah, you're just gonna skip this wave and just try a proxy, right? I think that's like your only game plan right now. I mean, you know regarding jungle pathing like more advanced than I am as well. I don't think there's too much to go over with this game. Do you just want to go into like the next early laning phase? Or like something specific you want to watch?
That one. I don't think so. I think this game, like, we honestly did win because their team just chased me around. I kept executing, so there wasn't really much more to watch.
You're doing like the boss gameplay.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happened. But I never try to give them kills. Like, I always try to like kill myself. You know? Like, even way so. I think the other game, let's see, what was the KD? I think it was like 3 and 11.
I mean, I'm down to like study any other of your early lanes too. Ultimately, I think that's why the easiest way to improve is just get like your early game down. I think it's also your hardest part, right? Like your first waves, and then for me, when I was playing Kayn, like what I had is I did the thing where I think I did 2 points in Q, proxied wave 4. Maybe even wave 5. No, I didn't proxy wave 5. And then I just got my reset. Or maybe I did actually, because then you get tier call. And then I got my reset in. And then I felt like I just couldn't play the game anymore until I basically had my form. That's what I felt like. Yeah, so I think just
pretty much what I went for.
Yeah, your early lane is just by far the most important. Okay, so this was against
that's a game where I got destroyed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, we watch this one now
quickly.
Might
be a good one to watch.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, that's not a bad one.
Sure.
I got destroyed this game. This guy bodied me. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
So, I mean, this combo is also like a notoriously an annoying combo to play in after 6, but walk me through your thought process heading into this matchup and like looking at the jungle matchup in the early game too. Like I take this into account, right? Like your matchup, but then I also think about the jungle matchup to just talk about my early game crash ideas.
Grasp, I'm always just super hesitant with the enemy top laner because I know that just auto wins short trades. So I kind of look to like bob and weave in between like her abilities. Like, okay, I wait for her to do this and then I'll try and like get my trade back, but I don't try to do anything like overly extensive. And then Fiddle, I honestly, in like Master GM Chow, I know that they're not gonna look for 3 camp ganks. They're always gonna full clear, at least in NA. They're just always gonna full clear. So I kind of have like a general idea of like gank timer for Fiddles. Like he's done with all his camps around 257, then around like 301, I just go set up a ward or just play extra safe. I usually judge when I'm getting ganked based off of body language of the enemy top laner. Like if they're chill and then all of a sudden starts sending me, I'm like, okay, I'm getting ganked, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's way more advanced for like the general play, but yes, 100%. So that's really good. Yeah. And I think you just have a much more intuitive feeling regarding pathing too. Like 301, I wouldn't be able to name that timer, but what I just, like, even though you know these timers exactly, I think Fiddlesticks can clear to both sides, right? Probably they use a preferred option, but I would still want to get this, like here in this game, it's super easy for you to get an early game ward down. Like either on this Krugs, either on this rep buff, you just know which side he's pathing to, so you can circumvent it too. The reason behind this is, I would not really look to proxy a wave 5 rather, if Fiddlesticks is pathing top. Because then he just, that's like the timer where he's on Crux as well, right? Because what you can do as well, if you get a 4-wave crash, or if you are already in proxy position after wave 3, if you want to proxy a wave 5, Fiddlesticks can be on Crux. So I would just always be more worried for that reason, so you just know whatever side he's pathing to. And because if you know what side he's pathing on this first layer, it's just very easy to keep following the rest of the game, but you know that. But also for chat. And then, I mean, Rengar's probably full clearing in the early game as well, right? Unless he does like a 3-camp gang on bot. But, okay, walk me through your matchup. And what I usually mean with walking through your matchup or like your top process is just level 1. What is your plan level 1?
Level 1, I kind of wait to see if she starts Q or W. If she starts Q, I kind of just wait for her to like use her Q, wait out the timer, then I go in for my Q and try to get the shove in. If she starts W, I just honestly just insta jump on her because usually I can like Q behind her W and dodge it. I think W's her like range 1, right? And then her E is her jump.
Yeah.
So that's usually like my thought process is like, okay, Q, just wait it out. W, just jump on her immediately and just start shoving the wave. Because most of the time that's how I win trades, just getting the wave shove on my side. So like they're taking more minions than I am because 2 Qs kills the wave, right?
Yeah, I actually want to ask you a question. If you do a second wave crash, right, and you walk through her turret and you just focus the 2 melees on the next wave and you put 2 points in Q, do you think you can just even proxy the 3rd wave just with how much AoE you have? Or you lose too much HP?
Yeah, probably. I mean, usually you don't lose that much HP that early on if you're playing it smart. I haven't ever thought about that. That actually sounds like a really good idea.
Because I feel like you can just nullify laning phase super early on as Kayn. Yeah, because if you play a matchup where it just gets hard after level 3, but you can get priority in the early game like almost every time, if you don't lose too much HP, I think you can just very easily get into a proxy, especially when you know where enemy jungle is pathing in the early game, right? And if they're pathing top, my general idea would be to leave after the 4th wave, and that would get you around 600 gold as well. So then you have like, I don't know, your tier refillable, something like this. And if they're pathing both, you can just stay for the 5th wave, perhaps even a 6th wave as well, depending on how much mana you end up going with. But yeah, some thought that instantly came to my mind here too. Are you familiar with Camille cooldowns?
No, not at all.
Okay, yeah, that's like the trickier part of switching, right? So Camille actually has extremely high cooldowns in the early game. Like her W's I believe 17, her E is 16, and her passive is around 17, 18 as well in the early game. So, generally speaking, yeah, you want to play into Camille with 2 rotations, right? First, you get rid of her passive and her bone plating, and then you can kind of trade into her. But if you never get down that initial cooldown, this champion can feel very suffocating to play against. Because you don't have like a shield or anything to like get her passive out, right? But just looking for priority, then doing a second wave crash, perhaps even a third wave crash, would be beneficial for you. Okay, so here you're instantly looking to push. I think it's fine. Like now you've established prio. I wouldn't push harder than this though. Only thing I do as well instantly is press tab whenever my opponent comes into lane, just like habit. If she has D-shoot or D-blade, she's gonna play differently, and it's also different for you. Yeah. So just like verifying your starting item. Okay, W start. So here you can already make different options. I feel like we've pushed too fast, because similar to how you said, you can kind of analyze the way your opponent is playing, or like you can analyze ganks by the way your opponent is moving. Like this guy is already, for me, playing safe. Like he's an aggressive player, would walk with the wave instantly and like contest you on your first hit, right? This guy is already not walking with the wave, he's already walking slow, so I feel like you can already instantly adapt to the situation, or like to how Camille is playing. And I believe for you, like one of your best crashes would be either a third wave crash or a fourth wave crash, because you just get more waves to either get your early game trades with, deny Camille farm, and get more level timers to play with as well. So here, looking for priority, I feel like we're doing it out of habit instead of having like an idea with it.
Oh, 100%. I just kind of auto... See, I didn't know any of that. I just kind of like auto-shoved the wave.
Yeah, like for me, those early game crashes is what defines my lane. Like, I'm really super focused on that, right? Because you saw last game, like you can play after how we approach third wave. So here I think it's fine, but here I would almost want Camille to like hit the wave a little bit more. And like one important detail as well, whenever you kill her melees and they're still up, is right now, like this was kind of where the wave state was neutral, right? Now it's already here. So it's already going to push much faster, like naturally right now, because next wave is also going to meet around here. So you're going to see that right now it or be basically impossible to do like a 4th wave crash, but 3rd wave crash is still very possible if you like slow push one wave and then hard push the next one, right? And Camille is hitting the wave back, so that helps you. I think these trades are fine for you, but now for me it already looks like a 2nd wave crash. Like now it's already hard for you to slow push. One thing you can kind of do here is like fake your intentions somewhat. What I like to do is just perhaps bait the Camille to walk up for the last hit here, like on the timer where you're gonna get the level up. So you think, so you've prepped the last hit now. I mean, you don't have the cooldown, so it's harder. But perhaps wait with getting this last hit and like try to bait her to go for the last hit here. Perhaps, right? So you can just get a QW timer. And if not, when I do your shoes, actually, you can try it next game. I don't know how much HP you lose, but then I just push in this wave and start proxying. Like, why not?
I definitely want to try that. No, I definitely want to try that.
This is perfect. So
I've not tried proxying early. Yeah,
I mean, this is the trade I was referring to. On your level up, you've done exactly that. And so now we have a similar position to what we had last game, right? So I believe, again, level 3, Camille's probably going to start beating you in trades because she can gap close towards you easier. So now we need to make a similar plan. I don't know where either jungler is pathing, but it's good to highlight that too. If your jungler is pathing top, it can be beneficial for you to make this wave push into you as well, because Camille's going to be forced to walk up for last hits, and then that setups the gank, right? Similarly, if enemy jungle is pathing top, so let's say you were like weak-sided, right? To also just explain to chat, if you are weak-sided right now, meaning your jungle is pathing to bot and enemy jungle is pathing to top, it's actually good to make this wave push back into you, because you're never gankable, as you're not forced to walk up for last hits. And the reverse is true as well. Like, say you're strong-sided, it can actually also be good to make this bounce. So Camille is forced to walk up for last hits, and then you can set up ganks through that. Alternatively, since you're looking for proxy anyways, if you're strong enough, then we can contest this, but you have to make sure that we are strong enough.
If I wanted to make it early bounce, what wave would I look to push it in? Like 3rd or 4th?
Well, early bounce, so this is, again, I would decide this on enemy jungle champion. If they have like an Elise, or like a Kayn, Shaco, Belvet, champions that can do like a 3rd wave, so it depends also on what side you are. If you are blue side, like I talked about, like the Kayn clear, like Shaco cleared, what other champions on the Belvet, they can very often do like the red side 3 clear into top, right? So then 2nd wave crash denies that pathing opportunity. Other than that, I mean, the fastest way to make the wave bounce in general is 2nd wave crash. And then 3rd wave crash is more so a neutralizing play. The reason I say that is because after you've done the 3rd wave crash, the wave will bounce back into you, but it's easier for your opponent to get access to the wave first, right? Which means they'll get level 4 first, and then it's kind of harder for you to contest in general, unless you have like health and or an item advantage. So a 3rd wave crash is a way to make the wave bounce, of course, but it's more so a neutralizing play in a general sense. But for your gameplay, plan, third wave crash is completely fine because that allows you to start proxying easily, right? And then fourth wave crash, generally speaking, is my preferred crash because what you could do in this scenario here, so just picture this, if you're able to slow push wave 3 and then hard push wave 4, Camille is forced to collect like 1.5 waves on the return, right? Which basically gives you an opportunity to either proxy wave 5 in scenarios where enemy jungle is pathing bot, or get a free reset without having to TP back because you're able to get like a bigger tempo timer by pushing in 2 waves at the same time with a cannon mean. Because from Camille's perspective, she's like forced to collect that giant wave, and then by the time the bounce would like happen, you're already like halfway back to lane, and you can always contest it because you're gonna have item advantage. And the reason why it's so good as well is because on wave 5 then, Camille is still level 4 whilst you're still level 4 as well. Because the way you see level ups is like, every level up is equivalent to, let's say, around 600 gold worth of stats. So if she's level 4, you're level 4, that's fine. If she's level 4, you're level 3, but you have like, I don't know, a call or a longshot or tier, I would still say the champion that is level 4 is stronger.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Wait, wow.
Unless you're like Darius or Olaf, because Darius just gets so much stats from like his passive, but like a level... like level 4 Aatrox against like a level 3 Jax with a longsword on the bounce, I would still prefer to be the level 4 Aatrox just with starting item. Because the extra point in your ability and like, you know, and on the bounce of course as well, she's gonna have a bigger minion wave, so there's some other nuances to that, but basically that. So, preferred option if you like save in the early game or want to make your opponent vulnerable, second wave crash, because that's like the earliest time to make the bounce happen. Kind of what you did here, right? Because the wave is here now, so you'd make this bounce. And then third wave crash is more so a neutralizing play, very often, unless you've traded with her a lot. Because if you do a third wave crash, and she's like below half HP, then you can contest the bounce, even though she's going to be a level up faster, because you have the HP advantage, right? And then fourth wave crash, generally speaking, is the best crash, because you get TP advantage, or like giant tempo advantage, and you put your opponent in an awkward spot of getting a good reset, because she has to play out the bounce, guaranteed, but she's always going to be items down. Well, let's see if we get any of the scenarios, because so here in your shoes, you have every option. You could slow push wave 3, hard push wave 4, and then look to either save your reset or proxy wave 5, right?
Yeah.
Or you just do a third wave crash here and proxy wave 4. In your shoes here... Oh, yeah, sorry?
Oh no, I was gonna say I never thought about like that early proxy, but that just sounds like a really good idea. I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah, it just gives you free tempo, free TP advantages, everything like that. I can maybe show you my early game against the Jax after, but it was like I got really good early game too. But okay, so from here perspective here, I would slow push wave 3. Because Camille, even when she gets level 3 right now, on this HP, she cannot contest you, right? And you're gonna have the bigger minion wave. I do want you to start pushing a little bit. The downside is we can't see minimap right now, but ultimately, I would want you to time this crash, of course, with like the next wave approaching, right? So I'd want to... So what you do in those scenarios is you look where your wave is at on the minimap, like your wave 4, to calculate where enemy wave 4 is at, right? And then you want to make like, sure, 1 or 2 minions stay alive, allow his wave 4 to walk in, and then the faster you push that, the more tempo you create for yourself to either proxy, set up resets, etc, etc. Contesting here is 100% the correct play. And I mean, here as well, I would probably put 2 points in Q if you want to skirmish and like contest priority. I don't think a point of your E does anything for you. This is good. This is like the initial trade I was talking about. You potting instantly is like a really good habit to see as well. Instead, okay, so we definitely mechanically misplayed here a lot. We'll talk about that. But your potting here instantly is like a very good habit to see. So I think here, 2 things. Your mentality here should mostly be like the wave state is the most important, not necessarily the trade. Like you don't want to force trades, you want to make sure that the wave is most important. And the only way you want to look for trades, of course, is like if you can guarantee equal health trades. So I think here, it's like your first mistake, right? You know Camille wants to look for these last with Ws. So I think in this scenario, you just should have positioned yourself differently. It's hindsight analysis, but I still think like your intention here, if you're level 2 and she's level 2, you're way stronger. So I would just have a more aggressive posture here ahead of the wave. Because you can right now. And if you don't secure your position right now, you kind of give her the space to play the game. Because this trade, even though it seems somewhat minor, her letting the W sustaining and you missing the W is like the first step to why this play goes wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And then now you get your level 3 faster, but she is able to match it. And I feel like if you've postured more aggressive here, and perhaps already like... I would even probably look to consider queuing here. Because on her W timer here, I would just want to queue here. You trade into her, you establish the priority, you get your level faster just by queuing here, and then it's like a better health trade. It's just more so intention here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because from your posture now, it kind of looks like you want to be the aggressor, but you're not sure. Okay, so now, I think bolting now already would be completely fine. This is just bad trade timer 2, actually, when looking back at it. Because, okay, so her W is on cooldown right now. She uses Q1 right here. So I think if you're just patient right now, wait for her to use Q2, then you get free access to the wave. You push this, you push the next wave, you get the proxy. But you just take her preferred trade timer, like into a charge Q2 with grasp, with passive. So this trade is negative. And then we extend it here into her W, like her reset W. And she gets a W off here. And then E as well. I mean, it just sucks.
Yeah, I did everything wrong there.
Yeah, we just did everything, honestly. And okay, the one downside as well with Kayn though, and that is what you have to be extremely wary about, is just whenever you trade, and like you get pushed off a trade like this, you're always pushing waves when you're trading, right? Because of your AoE.
Yeah.
So that's like you kind of have to make sure that your priority on wave state is more important. Like preserving your health and the wave state is higher priority than like getting your orbs in these scenarios. Because now, if your lane is gonna go bad, it's because of this. Whatever happened here. Because now you're kind of cooked, right? Yeah. But you see here from this perspective, I would say your laning phase looks extremely, extremely good.
I really did grief that. I think the reason why I did something that stupid was because I think my jung was pathing up. And like, I wanted to just take a trade, so she's kind of like more incentivized to like just go all in on me, right? Okay. But I just didn't even do anything. I'm pretty sure you can't see the map, but I'm pretty sure my jung just pushed behind. I see. I was trying to like set it up for that, so I was like, okay, if I like, so that's why I'm like walking up like this too, because I'm just like, okay, surely she just jumps on me. I was actually surprised she didn't, because she had no vision of this. And I was like, you know, most Camillus would just like look to get control of, like the south side and just try to get an E on me, and I could dodge it with Q, but he just played really smart. Yeah. To be honest. Okay, so yeah, I get the thought process of that, but even in those scenarios, like, so that was your idea here, right? To look for more trades. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's a very logical thought process, but I think it's just a big learning thing as well. Like, I would not care about my Rengar passing top here. I'd much rather just have him full clear if you're also able to like basically get your whole idea down. Because from this perspective, we agree that you just be able to like either hard push this, but I think that's like suboptimal. I would slow push this, hard push next. Camille stuck on the turret, you either proxy next one if it 6 isn't there, else reset, and you're like in such a blessed position. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. Perfect. But yeah, now you're kind of cooked, but the wave is pushing into you, so in that regard, you're fine. General consensus too, you want to set up your reset timer whenever the wave is pushing towards you. Very logical, but that's when you're like losing minimum resources. So what I do in your shoes right now even is your next wave should be approaching pretty fast. Like I would just drop Echo into this bush and just channel reset. And you don't have to TP back. Because Camille has very limited wave clear, so she'd have to push in this the remainder of this minions and the next wave before you're back. Maximum you're losing like 2, maybe 3 minions, but you get a free reset, and then you're able to play out the bounce. Yeah, definitely. I just wind up wasting TP. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so in these scenarios, I would, like, whenever the wave is slow pushing towards you, especially with your opponent having a little, like, less wave clear, that's gonna be, like, the biggest difference maker is just those reset timers. I would just try to channel reset here. If Camille is very smart, she'll cancel you here, but based off her posture, like, the way she's played the last 15 seconds, I don't think she would have actually cancelled it, if you just would have done it somewhat sneakily. So now we gotta look for our reset. I think your preferred reset, I heard you said it was, like, 850 gold, right? So you can get Cole and here. Yep. Okay. This is fine. I think this reset time is completely fine, because you're able to reset on the cannon. You lose like what, 1-2 millions maximum, and you're able to contest here again. Okay, so okay, let's talk about this. What is your plan right here, heading back into lane? Oh, never mind. We lost the cannon. FF. Oh yeah, no, I was sad about that cannon. Honestly, whenever she hasn't reset and I got a reset and I TP back in, what I think is, okay, I'm just gonna shove in. I'm going to catch the wave, I'm going to shove in the next one, then that's when I just go proxy. Like, I'll try to get whatever I can and just go get the proxy. So, sometimes if I can get all the minions, I'll go for it. And if I can't, then, you know, I just try and salvage what I can. Try and make it there as smoothly as possible without losing too much HP, too much mana, right? Yeah, so our plan here is to establish a proxy after our first recall here. Why are we contesting this way so aggressively? Is that... So, that could be 2 reasons. But the general thought process that I want to have here is that the more HP you lose in this frame, or like in this timer, the harder it's going to be for you to play out the bounce as well, right? Definitely. So I want to definitely look to preserve our HP. The one thing I could see from your perspective as to why you're trading here is to try and stop her tempo from getting her reset off. So like you keep her in lane, so you can get into the proxy position as well. It's just that she's level 5 right now to you level 4, so you see like the trades are not even remotely close ever, right? It's just that level extra, it just completely switches how you can... or the amount of trades you can do in general. Paired with your champion being weak as well, right? And you'll be able to tier boots. So I feel like you've kind of gotten what you wanted here.
Also, one thing to mention here quickly. You've lost some XP. From Camille's perspective, she hasn't lost any XP. At minute 5, the wave that comes into lane, if you haven't lost any XP, is actually the wave that grants you level 6 exactly, like on the dot. So something to remind as well. Even though you've lost HP previously, you've kept Camille in lane, which gives you the tempo opportunity to try and set up a proxy. So in that regard, I think what you've done is extremely good. And now you can get the proxy. Beautiful. So you say that you say you got stomped this lane. I feel like this lane has gotten pretty smooth.
I think my worst thing this game, honestly, now that I'm remembering it, was she would like go and rotate around the map, and I was just like so lost. I think I like farmed, like I got chased by Kog'Maw, but I farmed to like 120, 130 CS. I got a tower. I almost got tier 2 tower, and she just rotated around the map and just kept fighting my team and killing my team, and I was like, what could I do? Because I feel like even if I TP in, I TP late, and if I group with my team, then, you know, it's fiddle. How am I going to win the team fight? So that's where I was like really lost with this game, because I was like, I didn't know if I should just stay in solo lane and just try and like, you know, keep getting towers, you know?
Okay. I think it's hard for her to get priority though to start running, so I'm curious to see the timers you're referring to as well.
Yeah, well...
Because when you're perma proxying, she's kind of locked in lane, unless she just guarantees one to skip out on a wave. It's just hard for me to do... Okay. So you're getting ganked here, so you're executing.
Yeah, I just kept getting chased by their Kog'Maw was like 1 in 7. Like, he was just giving up so much just to chase me around.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think it was in between that, like, death time where, like, she just started to, like, okay, I'm going to start rotating. I think it was after her tower drop, maybe. Okay, I think she just gave tower at some point.
Okay, we can talk a bit more about the macro range stuff. But thus far, I feel like it looks like a perfect laning phase, right? This is exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And now you just want to trade some more for orbs whenever you get the opportunity. Yeah, this is where you're for sure the weakest. That's what I noticed too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you hard pushing is of course correct. So I guess now she's getting her roams.
Just runs away. I was like, oh, this is amazing. I get like 3 waves for free. I get plates. The enemy team is flaming in all chat. I was like, oh, this is free win. And then she just started making play after play on the map, and I was like, what the hell do I do?
I mean, the only thing you can do is communicate on that, right? At that point.
Yeah.
Okay, this looks fine as far.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh. But like these fights, oh, yeah, tragic.
That was just unlucky.
Yeah, you get that kill. It's giant switch for your farm as well. Honestly, I still think you're completely fine in this game. It's just hard for you to get to your farm now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you push again.
Yeah, this is where like she just left lane. Like she gave me tower, she gave me wave after wave, and she just went to go rotate. I guess it wasn't even like dragon. Dragon wasn't even up. She just ran around the map. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But no, it was up. Maybe. Yeah, it was. But.
Yeah. That's weird gameplay. I mean, the only thing you can do, I mean, from my perspective, is just communicate it, right? Not much else to do. Or match the roam, but I don't think you're strong enough to skirmish the way she is.
Yeah.
She just died even. You get a tier 2.
Yeah, she died in the map, and then Smolder matched me, and then...
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. I mean, that's fine. I think what happened here is completely fine. I think going top is fine, because the tier 2 turret is very low. So that's what I assume your goal plan is here. Yeah, getting for the tier 2.
This is the worst thing you're ever gonna see.
Oh my days. Did you actually not get the gold? No, you didn't get the gold.
Yeah, I did get the gold.
No, you did not get the gold, I think.
I wanted to hit him as much as I can to get form, and I was like, what is this damage to tower? And
oh my days.
Yeah, that was just so bad.
You know, if your grubs would have lasted the turret, you would have actually gotten the gold. That is one of the most tragic things I've seen. Well, you have your form.
Yeah, this is where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna perma group like she is. I was like, okay, you know, I felt like the most I could do is like shove out bot, and I have TP. So I think I just went like bot, farmed, and like looked for a TP. But anytime like there was an angle, it's just like boom, fight's already over. She's just getting so much done. Like she had like, I think at this point like 8 KP to my 0. I was like, oh, I'm kind of griefing this game.
No, I wouldn't say it like that. I wouldn't put like Camille getting successful roams isn't necessarily your fault. I think this of course is your fault. Like what happened here. But
definitely.
The way Camille's playing is like super flip. Some games she's gonna look like Faker, and some games she's gonna look like an idiot. Because even though she's getting this stuff done, when she died on Dragon, you got like what 3 plates, 2 waves, and she lost all those resources. You got like most of the tier 2 turret as well. So even though in this game, like in hindsight, it looks good, I don't think her game plan was correct at all. I think this going wrong just sucks. Like in a different game, you have ult here, you have a better setup. You kill him here, you get the solo kill XP, you're level 12, you get the tier 2 turret, and you'd be level 12 compared to this guy being level 10. Your hindsight analysis now kind of makes you feel stressed because this play goes wrong. But even without like that, I think you're, I mean, at least on par with the strength of Camille right now, just because of the amount of resources that she has missed. And again, if this went well, you get the solo kill XP, you're level 12, you get the tier 2 turret, you're like, what, 2k gold, you're a menace this game. So it's just this turn going wrong that makes you probably feel like you're griefing this game. So now you're kind of... Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, you can do shit. Wait, he just still like sucks you when you're like in ult? Or
Yes.
what?
Yes.
Okay.
I died with 30% HP.
Yeah, I was
That's
about to
what,
say.
It was just so fucked.
He just one-shot you. I understand the play you're looking for. I don't think your idea should be to keep grouping with your team now. I think you playing for side lane is still completely fine as well. And then I would look for the Kokmao. But I mean, the game state right now, I wouldn't say you control anything, right? So you're more so adapting and playing towards your opponent, because you were ahead here, but like what was it, like a few minutes ago? But now that we died multiple times, you don't control anything anymore. I didn't see that. So I mean, now the game is just good.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. But I was just curious, like, so doing like staying in lane and just getting towers and gold and XP. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Oh hell yeah!
That's what I was. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I was feeling very happy in your position here. Like I'm very satisfied with this, especially when I see Camille dying on this turn. Because the way you have to look at this perspective, right? So when does she start moving? It's like here already, level 9.
Yeah, yeah.
So
she just left.
Every wave, normal wave she loses, general gold is like 100 gold ish. Let's say like 80 gold. And then also the XP. And XP is like very valuable in the game, right? Always, especially like you know that from a jungler perspective too. Top laners can just get so high on XP. So now she's losing play, she's losing waves in terms of gold and the XP. I mean, she's collecting something in bot, but in the main team, you're also being able to farm for free when you already skill like a monster.
Yep.
And so she loses another wave. So in total here in this turn, she's lost 2 cannon waves, 2 normal minion waves, and you've gotten the full turret, whereas she maybe got like 1 assist or a kill, and she died. So in terms of like gold change here, this was super worth it for you. I mean, look, you have 2k gold. You got like 500 gold in that turn. So this was super worth it for you. It's just this death, I don't think it was very avoidable. This death also doesn't change the outcome of the game that much. It's just this turn that really cooks you. This turn is like the doom scenario. Because right now, I would say you're not in charge of the game in the sense like you're full leading it. But you're definitely on equal strength with anybody. Like, you're not behind the curve here, which is what you want to be, right? Because you'd win the... If you have form here, you'd beat Camille in 1v1.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you're completely fine in the game right now. It's just, yeah, this turn. This is the one that sends you. Yeah. And then we die here again, and now I feel like you're just, like, in panic mode. Yeah, so now after this one again... Because if you compare it, the past, what is it, 3 minutes? Like, here, you're almost 10 CS per minute. So here, like, you're in such a beautiful position here. Yeah, you're actually 10 CS per minute right here. So this death, I think this death we can filter, right? This is just like, it happened, not much to do about it. They sent 3 top, like everybody and their mom was here. Not much to do about this. Yep. Next death though, is gonna ruin your tempo, because if you keep in the timer, let's say around 1430, after that death, we're 140 CS. Well, 1430 we're talking about, right? And then, well, 3 minutes later, you've got an 8 farm, we died 3 times. That's how you lose the game. If you just kept farming sideways and not feel pressured about what was happening around you, I think this game would have been much easier for you to pilot.
Once the tier 2 tower top is gone, do I just play bot?
Yeah, I would. Yes. Okay. So once you've got that tier 2 to the top, there's like not a single incentive for you to ever go top lane again. And it's also correct for you, and I also really like it, right? If you're able to get the tier 2 top, it's such a big blessing because you basically never have to rotate there again because there's no incentive. And you're able to stay bot side for the remainder of the game, which is good because as a top laner, in the general consensus, especially when you're winning side lane, you want to be opposite to the neutral objective. So you want to be playing towards the Baron anyways. Or sorry, to bot side, so you're furthest away from Baron and you can create tempo timers. I think right now, though, you just don't control the game at all, so we're just perma-responding to whatever's happening on the map, right? And just catching sideways. There's not much to do, we say it, in tempo. Because if we reverse it, oh, sorry, that's too far back. Let's say we would have killed the Kokmao here, or just gotten the turret, like not even killing the Kokmao. I think here getting the turret and getting away is also extremely good. Right, so literally we gotten this turret. Your next play would be to just go bot lane, push out bot side waves, push out bot tier 1. I don't know if it's there. I don't know if bot tier 2 is there, but that's what you just be playing for. And then you're just funneling yourself, and there's nobody that can match both your gold and XP income in this game. Because once you're side lane, right, let's say the wave's pushing away from you. You go there first. If it's pushing into you, you're always able to farm both jungle camps and side waves, and then nobody can test you. You just get the turrets. So from this point onwards, you're able to lead the map. But now after this goes like south and then the next scenarios, then it becomes hard to get control of it again. Yeah, I want to see more early laning phases too. So your hardest part in this game is not going to be mid to late game once you have blue form. You don't need like the 5 or 10 extra damage that you're mainly gonna get like most of your games, right? So when you have a setup like this, especially to arrange matchups, I think any extra like poke or dot damage that you can get is very valuable. So I would always go Scorch here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, but I don't know how often can you land your abilities on the Vayne as well. Maybe that's a better question too. But assuming you go Comet, I think you're gonna land quite some abilities, and then even if it's like what 50 HP on like the first 4 waves, I think that's still very valuable. And then one thing I want to mention as well, you have like arguably the weakest early game jungler, and they have Lee Sin. Yep. So I'm also way more scared of. Like, I want to avoid any 2v2 skirmishes, anything like this, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so you're just queuing the wave is perfect. Just like you said, you're able to establish priority, and now she has to like choose between last hitting or poking you, but she can't do both. And so yeah, she just can never match your wave clear. So this is perfect. And again here, I think the Scorch would do so much, right? Like it would just like emphasize that trait a lot more.
Definitely.
Okay. Now you don't have to hit this cast as the wave is bouncing. You're very well aware. And so this is also the ward timer. I don't know why you wouldn't look for the ward. There's 2 ways to use your ward here. So you don't have to use your ward. And also this is what I referred to earlier as well one time. Because right now when I'd ask you what's happening with wave, you'd say it's kind of like slow pushing, right? To you.
Yeah.
But if you look like on the next frame, he's basically gonna have, what is it, 10 minions on the next wave, and you're only gonna have 7. So it's actually hard pushing towards you, because he has 3 extra minions. So there's 2 ways to utilize your ward right now. One ward is either going to be like here, or like here, to basically avoid getting ganked. But at the same time, you're never looking to ward up anyways, so maybe your thought process is I don't have to ward because I'm getting pushed in anyways. The way I'd use my ward in those scenarios then is to probably ward this whilst I'm getting pushed in the later. So once you're going to be like, I mean, closer to your turret, and Vayne is gonna be crushing the wave right on this bounce. I want to ward here to basically verify her reset timer, maybe be able to cancel her once, like mess with her tempo, because she's not playing TP. So you can get a much better accurate tempo understanding. So that's what I do instead. If I don't want to ward for the jungle, just keep my ward for this. So you can like mess around with a reset or have a very accurate understanding. So here, I think your game plan is very clean. This is similar to what we could have done in like the Clap matchup, I guess, right?
Yeah,
the first one we watched. I'm very curious what it would be like for you if you just do second wave crash and then just proxy wave 3, if you can actually do that, like if you're strong enough. So here is where I'd put this ward on, right here.
Okay.
That's like the latest where you can do it, and then you'll be able to guaranteed know what the Vayne is doing after crashing this wave. Because if you're in Vayne shoes right now, I would want to hard push this. It's a 4th wave crash. You reset, you play the bounce, right? And if you're able to, you know, cancel her base once, you already mess up her bounce timer because you ruin her tempo, and that gives you the opportunity to be able to play out the bounce after collecting this wave. That makes sense? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, what I really like is that you're not looking for any trades here, because that makes you way more, it gives you a way easier access to be able to play out the future bounce too. Probably actually might stay or like invade the Shyvana. That's one more fear that I have here. But yeah, you're pinging instantly. I think you're fine. Okay, Vayne is staying. I think that's alright for you. And again, that's because now she has to like stay in the lane, and she doesn't get that easy of a reset timer again. So Vayne has 2 options right now. She's either gonna make the wave push towards her, and then you just base TP, or she's gonna push the wave again, but you're just able to collect somewhat for free, right? Unless we like drop all our HP. So that's the way I perceive this scenario right now. We just never want Shyvana to gank. That's the only thing. Like if Shyvana wants to look for a gank here, I just genuinely ping her away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. I would reset in this frame. I don't think there is any incentive to stay longer. You get tiered refillable, and then Vayne is probably going to hard push to set up her own reset, and you're very happy, because then you're able to push out the next wave very fast and get a proxy position.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I think that's just what I did.
Okay, Vayne actually just resets. I think that's completely fine for you as well. Oh, you don't like
I was very
refillable.
happy when she did that.
You
I
think
was like, alright, let me...
Yeah, sorry.
I don't go refill pod. Is it good?
No, I mean, like... it's for me, it's like, it's so normal, because you're not even playing the lane, so I guess refill potion is fucking useless, you're right. You just go ping for it. Yeah, no.
Prioritize vision.
Yeah, no. Any other top laner, refill's like, yeah, let's go, but no, yeah, you don't have to. Because you're not not looking for traits anyway, so I guess it's fine. Yeah. Okay, well, this is perfect. I think you've basically gotten everything down, right? So and here you see again the importance, because you say the rest of your laning phase right now. I can already say like this laning phase is gonna go smooth because your early game laning phase approach, like the way you've managed the wave, was perfect. Second wave crash, playing the bounce save, getting your TP on the bounce timer, and now you're just free to play the game. Like there's not much Vayne could have done to stop your plan, besides be much more active in like level 1, right? We're still having a blue buff right now. This timer is interesting. So what does that mean for us? So that means Lee Sin path what? Top into bot, and now still has blue buff, so he's back into top side. I think the only habit that I would just do here, I mean you're probably well aware of that too, but I would just want to press tab. So I kind of know how Lee Sin is going to play it right now, right? Because if this guy has like what? 32, 36 years, he's already doing a second clear. I want to see if he has items already, because that also allows you to know how long you can realistically stay here. For example, if he's already gotten his items, you know he's going to stay on the map. If he doesn't have his items, he's going to reset, go into bot side again, probably. Something like this, right?
Yeah.
So just a good habit that whenever you see the jungler, okay, so he has 30 CS, so I guess you should understand that full clear. But why is he so delayed? That's weird. Not sure what happened here.
I forget what he did. I think he just did something. I think he was just like messing around bot, like he didn't even do anything.
Okay, yeah. And then he didn't recall and just stopped your proxy. Yep. And jungler's not.
Dude, you saw me attack. Yeah, I know. I was legit thinking that. I was like, oh my god. And yeah, I just get ran after by her and.
I think this is not even that bad for you because you always just get like your blue marks, right? And like the thing is, you lose nothing because you get the wave in. It's
completely missed, like, fine for you. 2 waves in mid and a plate.
Yeah, no, this is completely fine for you. This is just the hardest part. So, what I had in my game actually, I had this exact similar scenario as to Hugh right here, but I was just against the Jax. I would genuinely consider if Vayne was here right now, for a future game, that's instantly the mental note I made is just fuck this wave and instantly go proxy again.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if Vayne
I was actually very curious about that because I'm like, do I try and like soak the wave from like you know the bush? Do I just try and soak the XP and then go, or do I just go immediately?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good to know.
So I was playing against the Jax. I was even ahead like 5-6 CS from the early game. I did like the proxy thing, like 2 points Q proxy, got my reset, played the bounce, and then I got the wave to Christian again. And then we had a similar scenario like this where I'm level 6. I got my items. I think I had very similar items to this. He was level 6, he had a Sheen, I was level 6, and the fight was like me scratching him and he just one-shot me. There's nothing I could do. So I instantly made a mental note like, this timer, you're completely useless. If Vayne is here right now, I would just skip this wave, go proxy instantly. Because the losses you take here is like negligible compared to just being able to farm for free again. You lose for minions for greatness. Definitely. So yeah, I think these timers are super, super important that if you have a similar scenario next time, bro, just proxy. Just skip that shit. And here's a similar thing. If you can get the casters, that's good, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just get as much as you can, and I guarantee the proxy again. Like you're doing here. I think you
get XP.
Yeah, this is perfect. And now you just proxy. Okay, you didn't get the XP, but that's fine, because you're going for the proxy now. This is perfect. Okay, nice. Now I think you're playing this laning phase really, really well, and you're playing your tempo well.
Yeah, range matchups are really hard, so I always just try to like find some form of comfort.
Yeah, I just think the way
better them, so.
Yeah, but just the way you've managed your waves this game didn't really give Vayne that much counterplay, besides having, or like her being ready for it level 1, but she wasn't, so you just got in this position for free, right? And now I just think your laning phase is very, very free.
What I like to do, especially when I play blue cane, is if I have like a good solo lane, like a mid laner that's gonna play solo lane, is I actually just look to like shove in my wave and just insta go look to like shadow the solo laner, kind of like I do when I play jungle, but since blue cane's just so like high mobility and I have TP, I can like make a pick in one solo lane and then TP back to the other and cover that.
Yeah.
Or you know just TP for my team. It's kind of always my game plan. But then yeah, oh yeah, in this circumstances, this is where like I'm kind of lost too. Where like, okay, do I want to like make them miss out on the wave? Do I go like trade them for orbs and then kind of like play a little ring around the rosy? Because I always like to kind of like when they're walking back to the lane and I have one crashing in, I don't know if I should like look to zone or look to just kind of wrap around to where like, okay, she gets to the tower, she gets the wave. And then I get the wave, and it's kind of like a, you know, we both do our own thing, or should I like try to stall them to deny them more?
Yeah, I think it's very so this is like a nuanced thing where every scenario is going to be different. I think the most like one of the biggest things to talk about first is how big is the wave that's under her turret. As in, like, is she forced to stay for this turret, and also how early is it in the game? For example, if this guy's like level 3, level 4 right now. And there's like 2 waves, she's never going to leave her turret and always collect the wave, right? But in this scenario, like level 9 already, this wave is pretty negligible. So if you go for a trade here, she's never going to be like, oh, I have to catch this wave. She'll just stick with you. So in these scenarios, I think it's just like a matter of... I think there's nothing else you could have really done here. Because even if you would have looped around, and let's say you would have gone on this wave like... right here, she would have just stopped you. She would not go for a wave, she would just try and stop you. So the only thing you could consider then instead is never hit this plate and like try to already loop around right now, but then, I mean, that would be impossible to do because you actually don't know if Vayne is walking ahead of the wave or walking with the wave, right? So I think you just have very limited options here. Again, I think this is almost similar to the scenario we had earlier, where you're almost forced to kind of skip most of this wave to get in the proxy position again. Because you just need to create a tempo timer, right? And you can either create a tempo by pushing this wave, but if you're laning 1v1 against the Vayne right now, she just make your life hell. So you would get like scraps of this lane and just set up your proxy again, probably.
Yeah.
I think here you're in... Yeah, sorry?
Oh, I was gonna say, do you think it's worth, you know how you mentioned earlier, like maybe drop a wave and just get comfortable in the proxy? Do you think it would be worth if the wave that is the one that you're sacrificing is a cannon wave, or do you think you should still try and like, you know, salvage the XP?
Yeah, so this is very hard, right? Generally speaking,
Yeah.
you don't want to lose out on a full cannon wave, but the way you'd have to see it. So let's just picture this, right? If you don't drop this cannon wave here, and let's say we just go into a neutral position. So this would be like the cannon wave Vayne is here right now, and you wouldn't skip out on this wave. What's gonna happen if you stay is the waves is gonna slowly push towards you anyways, right? So staying for the cannon means you probably have to stay for future waves as well, and then you basically get stuck. So it's either skip or stay. There's like not really an in-between. So is it worth it? Well, that's hard for me to judge. I think in the early game, by the way, losing cannon mean is like pretty much equivalent to getting solo killed, or like a cannon wave rather, because the wave is worth around like 180 gold, and then the XP as well is like kind of 300 gold worth of stats, right? So in the early game, XP is way more important, so I wouldn't want to skip a full cannon wave. But then again, let's say you're playing, just the example that I had, Kayn into Riven, Kayn into Jax, like these matchups that just stomp you after level 6, I would probably think it's better to actually skip the cannon wave and get into proxy, because if you don't skip that cannon wave, you're locked in lane. Like, there's no way for you to escape it. So I think I would just cut the losses to at least get something. And then, yeah, you're gonna be behind like half a level to the Riven and some gold down, but at least you'll be able to stay somewhat even. So I would probably take the small loss there. I don't think this death is that bad, by the way, because she lost flash ult, and like you lose nothing in terms of waves, so it's like it's a good death. No, I mean it's fine. It just doesn't lose you much.
Yeah. Also, the thing I like with Kayn is whenever I die, I also get like a lot of orbs, especially like post 12 minutes. So it was like around that like kind of glory time for like actually like going for a death.
Yeah.
And I did miss out on like kind of half a wave, but I was like, oh well, I got a lot of orbs for it, and she used both her sums, so.
Yeah, no, it's completely fine, honestly. Okay, I didn't know that about the minute 12.
Yeah,
post
post 12 minutes, it's like you get a lot of orbs post 12 minutes. Yeah. I think my Shyvana just cammy like for like the next like 2-3 minutes, because this guy just perma overextended. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll play like fish. I'll be bait under the tower. Yeah. I'll just like take some short trades and kind of act like, oh, I'm helpless, and then my jungler just is waiting there.
One thing I did notice though is like you're never communicating with your team. Like for example, your Ivy spamming living shit that Vayne doesn't have flash.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about playing in Masters where I just like I don't know. It's just trying to say anything to them, because I feel like I'll tell them, okay, let's do this, and they'll just do like, they'll try and they'll just fuck it up so bad that I'll be like, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. You know what I mean? Okay.
So there's then like there's that part where you like tell them to do something, or I would just get them like I don't know, like a guidance. Like you just basically help them make their plans. Like you just ping that they don't have summoners, or you can just like I give the intention instead of like saying what to do. I guess there's like that nuance, right? But I get what you mean. I totally get what you mean. Okay, but now I think your game is in a very good spot. Like you can kind of control this. So I mean, neither of their side laners is actually able to play into you, right? Neither Zoe or Vayne can do much against you, so you're able to control this game very well. Like, especially when you get there, I don't know, like Edge of Night something, right? That's always like a very staple good item into Vayne. So what is their win condition? It's mainly going to be their bot lane. I think you just avoid Leona like the plague this game, and you're good.
I even went Serpent second item just so I can kill Kai'Sa.
Would you go Serpent second?
Yeah, cause she has barrier and thing. With opportunity just gives you so much damage that if I actually like get on her, I could like 100-0 her.
Okay, but do you feel like so I wouldn't start itemizing right now around the Kai'Sa. I would always itemize against my solo laners. Because you're not gonna be playing against Kai'Sa now for like most of the game, right? I'd be side laning, I don't know. I don't know where you're gonna meet Kai'Sa, but it should be way later. I would much rather go Edge of Night, and I feel like if you have Edge of Night, how are either of these gonna play into you?
Yeah, I get that. See, my thought process is usually like, okay, I want to go win the map, and then I'll just save my TP, or I'll like just rotate back up. Like I'll kind of let the solo laner AFK farm do their own thing, and then I'm just gonna focus on killing their team. Kind of like what that Camille did, but I'm easier at catching waves, I guess, because your champ is just abundance of mobility, especially with opportunity and tier 2 boots. You can kind of like, you know, make it there in time to where you're not missing everything. Okay,
I can definitely see that. I mean you're playing the game different, especially as Blue Kayn, right? I think as Red Kayn you can't match that playstyle as efficiently, and you're more incentivized to go side laning. But I think with Blue Kayn that makes sense. Okay, I'm curious to see what your gameplay is good like. Also, that Vayne death. Okay, results you're getting the full turret, so it's good. Okay, so you catch top first. And what's always good about getting the turret down is you're able to create a bigger tempo timer for yourself. So if you want to create the biggest run timer, of course, you want to try and push the wave all the way to the tier 2 turret, and then you have a much bigger timer to do something all across the map. Okay, beautiful. So that's what I do right here. Somewhat slow pushing this wave, and then you hard push next wave, instant reset, and then you have a tempo timer across the map, because Vayne then is forced to like collect this wave under her tier 2, and then like maybe the next wave 2, and then she'd have to like push 2 waves before the time you'd have to collect. So now you just hard push this and instant reset, and now you have like a minute tempo timer across the map, so you're gonna do something. Perfect. You find the Kai'Sa, which is their win condition. Yeah, not much to do, I think. Okay, you ended up to go in bot.
Vayne won a grouping. She just like gave up like 3 waves top. That's what I was confused about. I was like, wait, what? Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think Dragon just spawned. Dragon was like spawning like 20-30 seconds here as well.
Okay, it's very bad for Vayne to group here. I mean, we don't see it, but the top side wave is pushing back into you, because whenever you crash, so similar to laning phase, whenever you crash the side wave into their turret, it's gonna bounce back into you. So the way you've managed the side wave is very efficient for you right now, and Vayne is what I refer to as like a bleeding side wave, because she's grouping now, but side wave is also pushing away from her, so it's like horrific for her. I mean, this is more so just execution, like your own decision. What you can do as well, whenever the fight hasn't started yet, I believe this is, yeah, it's third dragon, it's so tanky. I would just push out this bot wave, why not? Just pressure them even more, because then they have 2 side waves that are like negative for them.
Yeah, I think because I see someone, like if you go back like 10 seconds, I see someone right there with my E tells me that there's someone like there, so I'm like, okay, if I go here, then,
oh,
you know,
yeah, I see.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, if I go bot and shove that out, I'm gonna get like maybe 2-man, 3-man. So I was like more so just kind of waiting for the flank on them. I was kind of hovering the hex gate so I can maybe get behind them just in case.
I see that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this is more so just execution. I just think we're wasting a lot of dancing time here. Like, I would cut, me personally, just from like a matter of consistency, I would probably just make the decision way faster to just push out the side wave. And because by pushing out the side wave, you kind of make it very hard for them to approach, because so it's gonna be like, oh, we have to catch the side wave, this top lane side wave is bad. You just pressure them a lot more mentally as well. Now they're not really under pressure of anything. I also think their 5v5 is way easier to play compared to yours. Like, if you're bot and somebody else is bot, I mean, it depends on who's bot as well. It doesn't matter that much. Okay.
When you go like in that bot lane situation, aren't you like kind of worried that, oh, their team's just gonna engage on my team? Because I was like thinking like, okay, if they see me bot, Lee Sin's just gonna instant engage, or Leon gonna instant engage on my team.
Let's see the scenario again. I mean, Cork is that already here, right? So I think if your team walks up, it's kind of like that's not on you. And I don't think, I mean, that's the thing as well. It's hard for me to see like how good the vision is across the river, and like what mid-wave state looks like. But I believe you guys actually have mid-wave prio for some reason. So I don't think your team is actually able to get caught. So you'd have to like, nuance it a bit more. But now, like, unless your team grieves, they should never be able to get caught. But you're right though, I see that. But then you're making your plans more so around the potential mistakes of your teammates. So 2 ways to fix that: don't care, or communicate your plans to your team. So just communicate that you want to push out the side wave, right? And you just ping them back twice, and you ping on. So the way I do that is just ping them back twice, like the V ping, and then just like ping on the way on the bot side wave, and then you group afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you at all. I don't think I've ever communicated with my team like throughout any of this. Like, the most I would tell them is like that I'm gonna proxy or whatnot, like let them know like kind of what that is. But like I've never like oh team, I'm gonna shove out this, or I'm gonna do that. So I'll try that out definitely. I
think it's just easy, right? Because I see a lot in your thought processes where you're like, okay, I want to do something that's like optimal for me, but I'm scared of what my team is gonna do. So just try to filter, I guess, that scenario. Okay, so I really want to see what the sideways look like right now, because after a successful skirmish, most important thing is you have tempo on the map for anything right now. And as a solo laner, your goal, generally speaking, or 9 out of 10 times, is going to be fixing the side waves that are like bleeding. So you see here, this side wave is pushing towards you. This is still a result of you pushing in the wave into her tier 2 earlier, right? So you fixing this is good. Preferably we like to push 2 more waves here, but yeah, no, you can't. So you're just gonna now you leave this as a bleeding side wave, in the sense that this side is gonna be bad for you now, because this is kind of similar to like, how would I say it? Pushing one wave and then like awkward crashing it into the turret. So now this wave is gonna like stuck in here, and you're gonna be the one losing out on resources here.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I would just always like consider this, but you have a goal with what you're doing here, so it makes sense. You're trying to like speed up your reset, right? So
I wanted to try and TP.
Exactly. So you're getting a bad side wave, but you do get the tempo to go into here. Fight is over for me right now from this perspective. I just want you to go bot lane, fix that side wave, because it's still it should be pushing away from us. Like, I can't see it, but I there's no incentive for you to be mid lane here. I mean, unless you can get this. I would just want to fix side waves. You see, I'm very hammered on that, because that's where all your gold income is. And also, if you manage your side waves correctly, this Vayne and Zoe don't get any gold income, and both of them are so vulnerable going to side wave to begin with. So I think you being mid lane here is just a waste. Like, I would much rather be bot lane.
Yeah, okay, good to know. I get what you mean, definitely. And just having that XP and CS advantage, just perma. They just can never walk up because I have so much mobility. I just one-shot them whenever I look at them.
Yeah, and it's just like
try to farm.
Because you have tempo here on the map now, right? Enemy team can never walk up anymore. So you just resetting the side wave again on bot lane is good for you short term, but also good for you long term. But if the wave is like kind of awkward, like this top wave right now, we can't see it. It's kind of awkward, but if we push this out into it as well, it's just way more beneficial for you and your team. Like both you and Corky are able to just get much more gold income. Yeah,
and it forces Zoe under tower bot. And do you think if I'm gonna take like jungle camps, would I do that after shoving the wave, or maybe before? Because it's a little bit. Yeah,
two scenarios. If the so when you want to take jungle camps, when the wave is pushing towards you, right? So let's say wave state is actually already like very far pushing towards you, like your bot lane, and the wave is still pushing towards you. You have more than enough time to farm jungle camp. So yeah, either whenever the wave is just pushing towards you, or after you've crashed the side wave into his turret. But then again, the wave is gonna push back towards you, right? So that's the time where you look for camps. If you're losing more sideways by taking a camp, then of course, yeah, it's just never worth it. But if you look at it from that perspective as well, let's say you get priority on the side wave, you crash the wave, and then get like, I don't know, maybe the Gromp and the Scuttle, like your opponent is only able to receive the side wave, you just get such a big lead.
Yeah.
I mean, from this point onwards, I think the game looks pretty much free. And again, the reason why I want to emphasize that this lane went so good for you is I really liked how you played your early game waves, right? Like theoretically, second wave crash, playing out the bounce clean, then getting the bounce and getting into the proxy just made your laning phase very hard to stop. You just got able to scale for free. Somewhat optimizing your side wave, you know, timers, but I think the rest is really good.
Okay, good to know.
I do remember I got like a really good level 1 trade, so it made this approach or like this plan much easier too. But yeah, like he didn't trade back. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He just let me Q auto him, so like he just had a stroke. But that allowed me to just secure the priority. And now I'm just gonna adapt to how he plays, right? And he completely mispositioned here. So I got full priority, but I would more so say that it's him misplaying here. So here, multiple options. I can either slow push this or hard push this. I think, I decided to do a hard push. Try to see if I can maybe use the level 2 timer. And then just do the second wave crash. And then, so similar scenario that you had with the Kled. Now we just have to decide, what do we do on third wave? Do we let it bounce? Or do we try and contest it, right? And here, just because of health advantage, I think it's very safe for me to contest this. And then also try and hard contest it. Because the faster I approach these minions here, you see I'm already going to start hitting it. The faster I'm going to get my level 3. And I just mismatched the level 3 timer. So by the time I'm level 3, he's still level 2. And that just allows me to just have full control over this laning phase. Like, he can't do anything about this. Right? I just Q AoE everything. And I believe I put second point in Q. Okay, yeah, exactly. And you see, there's nothing he could have done about it because I just instantly start pushing it. And now I just go proxy.
Oh yeah, you're totally... Oh my god, yeah.
And there's nothing you can, like, really do about it. But again, enemy jungle was also pathing into bot this game. So that made it easier. I also waited to verify that. But I see my jungle invading here, right? If Viego's pathing to top, you're not able to proxy here, of course. Yeah, then I just get my reset in. I just proxy here.
Did you set up early vision this game? I didn't see your trinket.
Yes, I did get, I think, this ward down here. Wait, let me see.
Oh yeah,
set it up.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't even know if it spotted the Viego though. So I was scared of the Jax here at level 1, right? Like the Jax was here, but he walked away.
Yeah.
I don't think... Did I even spot it? Yeah, I spotted him. Yeah. I knew he was pathing into bot. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that like being very crucial, like in that early vision to be able to get that early proxy.
Yeah, because now I just have I just have zero like fear, right? I'm just able to stay here. I was like in my mind, I wanted to try and stay for 850 gold, so I kind of maybe greeded, overstayed here. But yeah, and now Jax contested me. But I was already super happy with this. I thought even if I died, it wouldn't be that like negative for me, considering he's already losing out on a full wave here. And it's like, again, it's not a cannon wave, but it's like how much is that? Like 80 gold and the EXP, so it's still definitely noticeable. I can't remember actually what happens here. Then I just apply this guy. Yeah. I just dip. Okay, so I'm still very happy with this. So kind of similar to...
that's amazing.
Yeah, and now I just go tier call, because I picked that up. I had no idea what to itemize. And because of this, like, the Jax hadn't recalled yet, so I'm just able to set up a second proxy position. It's just the only thing I'm considering here is that Viego is very likely to be on his second clear towards topside now, right? So that's the only thing that I'm worried of here. But also the Jax posture here was very safe. Kind of like what you talked about earlier, right? So if he's not extending this trade or looking to fight longer, then I also feel like, okay, I can probably look to set up a proxy again. Just test it first, if see if Viego's here, and he's done his second clear, so I think I'm just fine. And then, oh, no, he ended up being top lane. But same scenario, like, Jax hates his life here because, I mean, he has to move away from the full wave again, right?
Yep.
And I just live. I can't remember exactly what happened. Oh yeah, Nami missed that bubble. I mean, it's fine. And I set up a reset again because I can't contest this wave here and I lost the tempo on this wave. So I reset. And now I got in this scenario where I felt super awkward. So this one, I'm just forced to collect. Like, this is very standard, right? So this is the cannon wave. We don't want to skip like 2 full waves here. So of course we're going to stay in wave. Or stay in lane here. And so I just collect this. But then on this wave, this is where I notice, right? What I should do right here is just, you know, like... move here and just go proxy, like, fuck this wave. Like, this wave doesn't matter. Yeah, and then I'd be very happy. But just because of this matchup, I felt like there's not much for me to do here. I didn't know how to approach trading to begin with. Like, I have some orbs, I guess, but there's just not much for me to do here at all. Like, I can't small trade. I can't look for extended fights. I had no idea what to do. I mean, I should have looked for my healing there, but regarding that, yeah, I mean, just no trading opportunities. So here I was like, okay, if I ever play like this champion again, I would just skip this wave and proxy. So I don't get in these scenarios.
I see what you mean, definitely.
But I'm very curious if you can actually do second wave crash and then proxy wave 3. I think you can with 2 points in Q.
Yeah. No, I'll try it.
But you'd lose like half your HP, I think, give or take. Good.
I'm also kind of debating on like Ghost, like running Ghost in lane too. Because I feel like Ghost can be like sometimes feel like kind of a something that could be like a replacement for TP even, like Flash Ghost. Because I would sometimes want to do that into like a matchup like Darius, where, you know, he just wants to, you know, ghost you down and run you down. Because then you could just like outrun him, like, you know what I mean? So I've actually kind of been fiddling around with like different stump spells as well.
But then I would go Ghost TP myself. I think the teleport is so valuable for you to get that opportunity. For example, if you look at the game against Vayne, right? If you did not have TP there, your whole lane was cooked. I feel like that TP gives you the opportunity to get like the 1 or 2 scenarios to basically get a free out jail card and then get into the proxy position. So I think TP is a must. So then I would go Ghost TP.
Oh, okay.
Because into Darius, you're not really going to skirmish him anyways. You just want to get away from him. And so if he doesn't have TP and you have TP, maybe there's like 1 or 2 scenarios where you're able to get that tempo and get the proxy, but that's all you need. So I would stick with TP. Yeah. I'm curious to see your early lane phase after this. I think it's just for you to hard prioritize. Like, I think second wave crash is very consistent, right? Because you can just you're able to contest. But for example, this game I did a second wave crash into instantly contesting wave 3 and then just proxy. I think it's just a matter of how good your early lane phase goes and just adapting to your opponent as well.
Pretty much answered everything. I mean, this is great, man. I learned so much about top lane, and yeah, that new strategy is going to be really good to run. I feel like that's going to help me out a lot with like a lot of these like matchups that I'm not comfortable in. So I think it's great. Okay, well, I'm curious to see it. Before the session, I said like, you know, the first waves are the most important, and when we started the clap matchup, something went wrong wave 3, whole lane is over, right? But with the Vayne matchup, you played your early waves perfectly, and like the whole laning phase just felt smooth, and that's just because your early laning phase is the most important. Yep, I can see that now. Perfect. That was good. Thanks so much for the coaching and everything. I really appreciate it. Yo, likewise. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I hope chat learned some, you know, new things as well.